Today's going to be a little bit different because we are reviewing for our Unit 1 and Unit 2 CBA. So in your bucket, you will find a sheet of paper or a foldable that Miss Webster has done for you. It looks like this. So I want you to get that out with a marker or color or whatever you would like. I would like you to write on this top part right here, Unit 1 and 2 review. Okay, Unit 1 and 2 review. And then each one of these sections are going to be, or tabs right here, pieces of paper down, are going to be different sections. And so we're going to do 2 a day. So the first one, I would like you to write right here in the corner, 5.3a. And what that means is to estimate, add, subtract, multiply, division problems. So estimate addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division problems. Okay? Go down one more tab, and today I want you to write 5.3k. And what that is to add and subtract rational numbers. So add and subtract rational numbers. So those will be the 2 that we're doing today. Okay, and we'll continue with this all week. So make sure that you're just sliding it into your math log and we're not gluing it in. Okay. All right, so if you will take this, also do me a favor before you move on, put your name on it right here. So I'm going to put my name right here at the top corner. So write your name before we flip it over. All right, so I want you to flip this top open just like this. Kind of push those staples and make sure it's kind of straight. We're writing up here and down here. So a couple of things going on. All right. So at the very top, I would like you to write, and I'm going to write in purple because I wrote in purple here, but purple and pencil. Because I'm going to do some things in pencil. I'm going to do some things in color. Totally up to you how you want to work that. So we're talking about estimating. So I want to write right up here, estimate with an arrow. We would estimate when we read the words about. So another arrow. The words round. And the words approximately. All of those would tell me that I'm estimating. Okay? So the steps that we're going to take for that is, first I want you to round, and then I want you to do the operation, which is add, subtract, multiply, or divide. So I want you to put right here a little asterisk, and then put first round. Put another little asterisk, and then write, then add, subtract, multiply, or divide. Okay? And then just take any color, I don't care. Make a little bubble around that. Just so you know that's kind of your own thoughts, your steps, your thoughts. All right, so over here, I'm just going to, still up top, I'm going to, in my pencil, work a few problems. So, and I'm just going to keep them simple. Let's say I have 343, and I want to find the sum of 212. Well, sum means I'm adding. So what would 343 be rounded to? Well, I'm always going to take the last number. So 3, unless it tells me to round in a specific spot, I'm going to round to the last place value. So 343, that's going to round to 300. 212 is going to round to 200. I'm still finding the sum or adding. Well, 0, 0, 5. And here, 3 plus 2 is 5, 4 plus 1 is 5, and 3 plus 2 is 5. So 555 is about 500, right? And I could, if the question was 500 or 600, is 555 closer to 500 or closer to 600? It's closer to 600. So be very careful on your answer choices. Let's try to find a difference. Let's say I have 743. And I want to find the difference of 219. So I want to subtract. Well, 743 is about 700. 219 is about 200. And if I subtract, I'm going to end up with 500. Well, if I subtract in real life with the real numbers, I can't take 9 from 3. So I borrow. This becomes a 3. This becomes 13. 13 minus 9 would give me 4. 3 minus 1 is 2. 7 minus 2 is 5. So 524 is about 500. Okay, so that's what we're doing. All right, here is the point where you have a sheet of paper. It's on a tan piece of paper. Over here you see 5 point, and it kind of cut off, but it's 5.3a and 5.3k. We're working on 5.3a. So what I want you to do, there are 2 problems over here. One says, which is the best? And then Mr. Chang. So I want you to just cut that paper in half. You do need the other side in a little bit, okay? So just lay that to the side. But I want you to cut out those 2 problems. Just nice and neat, little rectangles, nothing fancy. Doesn't have to be cut perfect by any means. Don't waste your time on cutting. Don't cut a whole bunch of little pieces of paper. I'm going to zoom this in a little bit. So once I have my my 2 little questions cut, again, they don't need to be perfect, and please don't cut a whole bunch of little pieces of paper everywhere. I want you to just simply glue those in. And we're going to glue them in just a moment, but I just want to set them right there because I've got some space to work right here and some space to work right here. All right, so let's look at the first one. It says, which is the best way to estimate the quotient of 7,713 divided by 18? Okay, well, if I estimate this number, and even if I did RIPS, right? Not difficult to do RIPS there. What is the best estimate? What is the best estimate? To solve this, I'm going to take 7,713 divided by 18, and I need to know that I'm estimating. To solve this, I'm going to estimate, and I'm going to divide. Okay, so now I'm going to come over here, though, and work the solve part a little bigger. So 7,713 would round to 7,700, right? So I could round it to 8,000. And look at your answer choices. What do they have it rounding to? They have it rounded to the nearest 1,000. So I need to make a correction right here. Okay, so I'm going to round, because my answer choices are rounded to the nearest 1,000. I'm going to round this to 8,000. And then divided by, so I'm going to divide it by, well, 18 is going to round to the nearest last digit or whatever. It's going to be 20. So if I divide that, 8,000 divided by 20, 20 doesn't go into 8, but it goes into 80, 20, 40, 60, 80, 4 times. 4 times 20 is 80. I subtract, I'm left with 0. But here's the deal. I'm not to the wall, and I have all zeros. So if I bring down that 0, 20 goes into 0, 0 times. If I bring down that 0, 20 goes into 0, 0 times. So my answer is 400. So here, my answer, the best estimate, would have been B. Okay, let's go to that next question. And again, you're going to have to be real crafty to get all this stuff to fit. But if you are neat, it will fit just fine. All right, so let's give my next question. And I should have probably moved that up just a little bit, but that's okay. Mr. Chang has $325 to spend during a 5-day trip to Austin. He wants to spend about the same amount each day, which shows the best estimate. So I'm going to go and underline that question. Which shows the best estimate of how much he can spend each day. He wants to do the same amount each day, which that signals division. And he has $325 and he's going to spend 5 days there. Okay. So again, if I'm going to use RIPS to solve that, which is the best estimate? Should have wrote a little smaller there. Let me fix that. It's going to annoy me. So I'm going to move that over just a little bit. Which is the best estimate? Okay. Important information is I have $325. I'm going to spend 5 days on the trip. And I'm going to use, this is a money sign. I'm going to use the same amount of money each day. Okay. To problem solve this, well, if I'm using the same amount of money, I know that that should signal me a division and to estimate. Okay. So to solve this, again, I'm going to take $325. And what is a good number to estimate that to? Well, probably, let me make sure that's clear. Okay, so 325, I would round that to $300. And then I'm staying 5 days. So it would be 300 divided by the 5. And I'm going to come right over here. And the 5 days I don't need to change. Okay, so divided by 5. 5 does not, so I'm going to keep that 5 days. So 5 does not go into 3. 5 goes into 36 times. 6 times 5 is 30. I subtract, I'm left with 0, but I'm not to the wall, so I got to drop down that 0. 5 goes into 0 0 times. 0 times 5 is 0, leaves me with nothing. So about $60 a day. Okay. So at this point, I do want you to glue those in, and then we're going to flip to 5.3K. So move that up a little bit. So we're going to flip this over. So glue those two in, and then we're going to flip our page over. All right, so we're back. We have, and now we're at add and subtract rational numbers. We're going to write up top, and we're going to do some problems down here. Oh, let me pause actually before you move on. So at this point, you need to pause your video. And that's the end of that video, because I'm actually going to make a separate video and label them the teak. So this video is done. You are going to now get the Try Me for teak 5.3a. And then remember, Miss Webster will be pulling you one by one to work with you on some of these teaks. So they are in the folders. It's either the green folder or the red folder, and they are located on the table beside the wall. So go to the folder that is the teak that you're working on, 5.3a, take out that Try Me, complete it, turn it into the bucket, and then go to the new video, which will be labeled 5.3K. Okay?